What if the thunder you hear at Iguazu Falls isn't just water crashing down, but the sound of a force so immense it can shape the very earth beneath it? Picture this. You're standing on a platform drenched in mist, the air vibrating with a low, constant roar. Before you, nearly 300 individual waterfalls stretch across nearly 2 miles of cliff edge, plunging into a churning gorge below. This is Iguazu, not just a waterfall, but a living, breathing force of nature. But what you're hearing and seeing is only the surface, because hidden beneath that thunder is a story of raw power, geological drama, and a mystery most visitors never even notice. Let's start with the obvious: the scale. Iguazu isn't one single drop, it's a system, a sprawling network of cascades divided by lush, forested islands. The tallest of these falls, the legendary Devil's Throat, drops over 260 feet into a permanent cloud of spray. But here's what few realize. That thunder you hear isn't just the sound of water hitting water. It's the sound of energy being released, enough energy, in fact, to power entire cities. So how did this immense natural power plant come to be? Rewind 130 million years. The land that is now the border of Brazil and Argentina was being torn apart. Massive volcanic eruptions poured layer upon layer of basalt, a dark, dense rock, across the region. Over time, that basalt cracked. Erosion began carving its way through the weakest points, following the fractures in the stone. But the real magic happened with the rivers. The Iguazu River flows over that ancient basalt plateau, and because basalt erodes unevenly, the river began carving a staircase into the rock. Step by step, waterfall by waterfall, the edge of the falls has been moving backward for millennia. In some places, it's retreating nearly 3 feet every year. That means the Iguazu Falls you see today isn't the same one your grandparents would have witnessed. And it won't be the same one your grandchildren will visit now. Let's talk about the engine behind the roar. The water itself, every second, an average of 62,000 cubic feet of water surges over the edge. During the rainy season, that number can triple. That's like emptying an Olympic-sized swimming pool over the cliffs. Every single second. All that falling water carries an unbelievable amount of kinetic energy. Energy that doesn't just disappear when it hits the bottom down in the gorge. The water churns into a violent, aerated white water. The force is so intense it actually carves plunge pools deep into the basalt bedrock, some of them over 200 feet deep. And all that energy, it turns into sound waves, heat, and vibration. The low-frequency rumble you feel in your chest isn't an illusion. It's the physical vibration of the earth responding to that relentless, pounding force. But the power of Iguazu isn't just physical. It's ecological. The constant mist from the falls creates its own microclimate, a moist, humid environment that supports an entire rainforest ecosystem. Orchids, ferns, and bromeliads cling to the cliffs. Toucans and coatis roam the islands. And hidden within the spray is a rainbow phenomenon so consistent that on sunny days, multiple full arches form simultaneously above the cascades. Then, there's the Devil's Throat, the most powerful single waterfall in the system. Here, half of the river's total flow funnels into a narrow, U-shaped chasm. The result is a perpetual explosion of water and mist that rises hundreds of feet into the air. Standing on the viewing platform, you don't just see the falls, you feel them. The roar is deafening. The spray is relentless. It's as if the Earth itself is breathing out, and that raises a fascinating question. What happens to all that energy over time? Because the falls are constantly moving upstream, geologists predict that in tens of thousands of years, the various cataracts will eventually merge. The separate falls will become one single, colossal curtain of water, even more powerful than today. But that same erosive force will also, one day, cause the falls to retreat so far that they reach a softer rock layer. And then, gradually, the mighty Iguazu will begin to fade. For now, though, the power remains. It's a reminder that nature operates on a timescale we can barely comprehend, and with a force we can only witness. So the next time you see a photo of Iguazu Falls, or hear that iconic roar in a documentary, remember, you're not just looking at water falling. You're witnessing the slow, majestic work of planetary forces. A river carving a continent, sound shaking the air, and a landscape being rewritten, drop by drop. Have you ever felt the power of a natural wonder that left you speechless? Share your story in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Wonder Explorer for more journeys into the planet's most breathtaking secrets.